Similarly, there can be Rasayan, Hridya Rasayan, which have a Rasayan effect, particularly for the heart. Arjun is a plant, terminally Arjuna, which is claimed to have Hridya effect or Rasayan for the heart. Likewise, one can choose a specific Rasayan. There can be a Kesha Rasayan, Rasayan for the hairs, Rasayan, Chakshusya Rasayan for eyes. Or there are also Rasayanas for your throat, Kantha Rasayan. Many musicians use Kantha Rasayan to improve the voice so that they can have good vocal music. These are the avenues which can be thought of. Now, there are Rasayanas also specific to age. Although they will have generic effect, but there can be some age-specific Rasayanas. And I'm quoting below this table a verse from Sarangadhar Samhita, a text which was written in the medieval period in 13th century AD, saying, Balyam Bridhi Chabihi Medha Tokka Drishya Sukha Bekarmau Buddhi Karamendriyam Cheto Jivito Hrset. Trying to say that our optimum life is 100 years, but there's a possibility that you can live 120 years. If you live 100 years, it is Rayu, and if you live 120 years, it is Paramayu. Paramayu, let us forget. But in Ayu, there is a scheme of aging. At the end of every decade of life, our body goes on losing certain Vayu values, biological values. Balyam, Bridhihi, Chabihi, Medha, Toka, Drisha, Sukra, Vikramau, like that. And I have a feeling that if at the end of every decade, if we take care of Rasayan, using some of these things, time to time, the entire process of aging can be slowed down. This is my suggestion, and we are also doing some experiments, not very intensively, but scientists can take lead in this to prove that there can be a decade-wide intervention with Rasayan to slow down the aging process. For example, fourth decade is the decade when we all start losing medha. Or whatever intelligence you grow only up to 40 years. Beyond that, don't think that you are going to be more intelligent. After that, you may be experienced, but intelligence stops growing at that age. So also the eye, the skin. So this scheme can be used for a kind of study which may be very contemporary in use. Now, in recent years, I'm hearing many presentations here in this conference, also in the Research Advisory Board. People talk of modern research on Rasayanas. I was trying to screen different publications which came in the press, in the scientific media, and these are the attributes which have been illustrated by way of research. They are like subtle nutrition, antioxidant property is the most often talked about. Everybody says that Rasayanas are antioxidants, although I have a little different opinion that they are not mere antioxidants, they are much more than that. They may be antioxidant, but much more than that. Then anti-aging effect, there are studies to support that. They help. Immunoenhancer effect, psychoneurostability, nootropic effects. Many of the Rasayanas are known to enhance the memory. Brahmi particularly has been reported in many journals claiming that it improves the memory. Anti-stress effect, again, very well documented. Adaptogenic effect. And now there are many studies done to claim that many of these Rasayanas may have anti-cancer effect, because there is some similarity between aging and cancer. Aging and stress, they are all allied processes, and Rasayan may have a place to place. Well, these are a few pictures to just acquaint you. These are few Rasayan plants. There are hundreds of such Rasayan plants, but these are the plants which have been researched to some extent recently using modern science. Mandukaparni, Brahmi, Amla, I hope you know, Ashwagandha, and the famous plant drug, which is also very much edible as a food, Haridra. These are very prominent Rasayanas which are in common use, and there are scientific evidence to support that they are effective. I hope you remember the popular Rasayan Chyawanprash. How many people know Chyawanprash? Many must have heard. Good. Chyawanprash is made out of amla, amlaki. Amlaki is the base of Chyawanprash. Whether you take Amla ki Rasayan directly, crudely, or take Chyawanprash, effect probably will be very, very similar. These are other few plants. Bhallatak, Semicarpus cardium, which has been now tested for anti-cancer effect. It is also a Rasayan and it shows anti-cancer effect. And then the popular drug ginseng doesn't grow in our country, may be cultivated, I hope, is from China and Korea. His Excellency was mentioning this. I was also in Korea for 2 years as a visiting professor. There is a huge cultivation of ginseng, big consumption of ginseng in Korean population, and big export of this plant all over the world, including Americans purchase ginseng from Korea. Even India imports ginseng from Korea and China. And our dear Noni, the picture is here, you can see this is also a Rasayan in my estimate, and it will have also the same effect as ashwagandha or ginseng. It will be very, very similar effect. So there are many few I'm quoting, those which have been documented. I will take not long time because we have another speaker to speak in this session. Ashwagandha is one of the plant drugs from Rasayan category which has been studied extensively in recent years. Many people compare this with ginseng. Many people call it Indian ginseng. Now here is a small experiment that we did in our hospital, a clinical trial on human subjects, elderly human subjects beyond the age of 65. For 1 year, these volunteers were given ashwagandha, 1 teaspoonful crude powder. It is not a chemical medicine. We use crude root powder every day, 5 grams with a cup of milk for 1 year, and we measure the changes which occur on parameters like biological age scale, immediate memory span, and health index by measuring through a brief psychiatric rating scale, which is a very easy method to assess the mental health. And the observations which were assessed from these subjects, they are not sick people, they are apparently normal elderly people consuming only a spoon of this medication for 1 year, and you can see there is a noticeable change in the biological age scale. The scale is made of symptoms of aging like graying of hairs, wrinkles on the skin, growth of cataract, prostate, such things are included in this, a 14-point scale. From that you can measure the biological age, and we found there is a change. Memory, during 1 year, memory has not deteriorated. In old people, memory goes on deteriorating, particularly the immediate memory. Long-term memory may remain with you, but immediate memory deteriorates very fast. But during 1 year of follow-up, memory has not deteriorated, rather it has improved slightly. And the mental health as a whole, particularly the component of depression, because elderly people many times are depressed. So the element of depression, frustration, such factors are measured through brief psychiatric rating scale, and we find that the mental health is also better. So this is a very, very crude study, open study, not a very double-blind controlled trial. Ordinary study done in an open way in our control, and there is evidence that it helps as an anti-aging factor. I'm quoting here a study by another friend of mine, not my word. He studied ashwagandha again, considering our work. He thought that whatever is happening is because of anti-stress effect. In the same way as many times we say, whatever is happening is because of antioxidant effect. Because it is very easy to study anti-stress effect, very easy to study the antioxidant effect, therefore we do that. There can be many other things which need to be done, but methodology is not there or may be difficult, therefore people don't do it. Here is a study where it was done, this is already published in the Journal of Ethnopharmacology some years back, and they say this is done in the rats, not in human beings. Therefore I don't consider it very important. But still there is evidence to suggest that there is a decline in the plasma level of corticosterone in the blood of rats after stress. When you give stress, swimming stress to the rats, the plasma corticosterone is increased, but in those animals where ashwagandha was given earlier, there the rise is very, very low. Similarly, the phagocytic index they recorded, they say that is also low. And above all, forgetting these biochemical data, the most important which looks to me is that the swimming time of the rats. The rat is put in a bucket of water and to swim there, and the time is measured how long they can swim before getting sunk. It is notably increased. They can swim longer. Say the untreated was 5.3, after treated 5.9, means they get a stamina to swim more, means they are under less stress and they have better stamina. So this is anti-stress, increases stamina, and it also retards aging. Now here just a small observation again from another worker. Recently there was a paper published in British Journal of Pharmacology based on the work done by a team of scientists in Japan. And it is an in vitro studies done by culturing neurons, brain cells, culturing with biphenyloid A isolated from ashwagandha. And these investigators they show evidence that by doing this, the dendrites of the neuron become longer, means the neuron regenerates, and the synapses become reconstructed. They have shown evidence, beautiful pictures showing that there is a possibility that the neurons become more effective, more prolonged, means there is evidence that this drug can regenerate the brain. This is very, very important, although it is in vitro study, and before we really go to the human settings, there can be many problems. But this is a good lead from where we can think that ashwagandha is a rashayan which can regenerate your brain. This is important for me. I am a practicing Ayurvedic physician. For me it is important because ashwagandha in a classical Ayurveda is claimed to be a rashayan and the best vatahar aushadhi, best medicine for neurological diseases. The best medicine according to Ayurveda for neurological diseases. And here is an evidence by Japanese group saying that it regenerates brain. All this fits in very well, and in fact I got encouraged when I read this paper. Now about a few plants, I was talking to Dr. Brahma Singh yesterday. He was saying that out of all herbal things, probably tulsi is the best. I agree with him, and here is an evidence. Dr. Brahma Singh, if he's here, yes, there is an evidence here in this experiment. This was done to compare the anti-stress effect of few drugs, not many, few. And among the few are tulsi, ashwagandha, and also ginseng, Chinese ginseng. And the last column, white column, shows the ED50, effective dose, comparative effective dose of all these four. And you'll see here that the effective dose is minimum in case of tulsi, that is 13.3. Then comes ashwagandha, 14.9. And look at ginseng, is it 25.3. Means for the same degree of effect, you have to use double dose of ginseng. Means our tulsi and ashwagandha is stronger than ginseng according to this study. So, but still we Indians import ginseng from China. We don't care for ashwagandha and tulsi, except Dr. Brahma Singh that it is important. But they are really important. There is evidence also to claim that, and there's a need of doing so many studies so that we start feeling proud of our things and we start using them here, because when you export something, the national pride goes down, number one, and you have to pay a lot of money, and our patients purchase the same ginseng capsules in market 20 times more at the cost of ashwagandha. I prescribe every day. I never prescribe ginseng because I know that is our things are better. I'll have only 2, 3, 4 slides more to show you. I want to touch upon cancer. Because, friend, cancer is a disease which is growing fast. And I'm talking of geriatric healthcare, and cancer is a disease of geriatric age group, largely, not always. Here is this data showing, this study was done again in another place in our collaboration. And out of those 7 drugs screened for anti-cancer effect, 2, not all, whenever you do experiments, everything is not successful. But out of 7, 2, look at the figure, serial number 2 and 5. These 2 drugs, ashwagandha and ark, they have substantial anti-cancer effect, and there's a need of pursuing these studies. Why I became interested in cancer? Through Rasayan, I told in the beginning that Rasayan is a nutrient, provides nutrition in different ways, either directly or through metabolic boosting or through microcirculation. Therefore, I thought that probably Rasayan could be a way of helping cancer patients because of this statement. You can read from a distance, I hope. It is known that cancer tissue competes with normal tissue nutrition because cancer cells continue to proliferate indefinitely. Their number multiplies day by day, so the cancer cells will soon demand essentially all the nutrition available in the body. Cancer cells need more nutrition than normal cells. So whatever nutrition you have, everything is consumed by cancer. As a result, the normal tissues gradually suffer nutritive death. Most of your own normal survival cells may die. Many patients of cancer don't die because of cancer cells. They die because their own cells are dying because of lack of nutrition. I have been suggesting for some years, although because I'm not a scientist, therefore I cannot really go forward, except making a suggestion that probably let the cancer to be treated by modern oncologists, by radiation medicine or chemotherapy, whatever they like, for killing the cancer cells.